Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Drop Bike Diaries. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways how this bike over here, the Honda 300L Rally, will break on you. Let's get into it. So as a person who has owned this bike for over a year and does mostly trail riding, I'd say like 75-25. This bike has failed me and broken in these 5 ways. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to give you those issues and then I'm gonna tell you quickly how I've remedied them. And then stay tuned for next week's video when I get into detail on how I fixed all of these 5 problems. So the first problem that I've had with this bike that has really bugged me is the plastic. As you know, I mean, this is the Rally edition of this bike, so there is a lot more plastic than the non-Rally version of the 300L. And I mean, I chose the bike for that reason. I wanted more plastic. I wanted it to be more highway capable, but I have found that I have absolutely destroyed the lower plastic on this bike up until finding a good lower crash bar and skid plate solution in the Garda system. I'll put a link to that video right here so that you can check out the install. I'm also going to be doing a long-term review of the Garda system soon, so stay tuned for that. And I also want to thank Garda because recently they sent me some swing arm decals all the way from Poland, in addition to some other decals that I didn't ask for. This is one of those companies that I really love. You ask them for something just a little bit extra special, and they go ahead and they go that extra mile. And to me, that's what makes a good company a great company. So thank you very much, Garda. Here's a little preview of the install of those. Really love them. They're making the bike look really, really cool. All right, so the number 2 thing that has failed and broken for me on the Honda 300L Rally that is kind of related to the plastic are the decals. I come from the cycling world. I've put pedal bikes through a hell of a lot more abuse than I've put this bike through, and I have to say that the decals are almost all shredded already. And not to mention that, they're just really, really expensive to replace. I went into my local Honda dealership here in Canada just to see how much upper fairing decals were to replace. They were $95 a side. That's almost $200 Canadian just to get 2 stickers for your bike. I know you can get these decals from Biker Bits for about $100 and then you're gonna pay about $100 shipping. I feel like that's something that I'm eventually going to do. I'm not really keen on like a complete wrap for this bike at this point, but I must say that I've ran into some serious problems with these decals and it just drives me insane. So some of the ways these decals have gotten trashed has just been like regular wear and tear from my boots. There is a gray section of decal that got completely trashed that I ended up cutting out with an X-Acto knife and peeling it off on the rear fairings just to kind of make the bike look a lot cleaner. And then of course there's the ones up front that have gone just from like riding and hitting sticks. And then when I bring the bike home and I give it a little bit of a pressure wash with a very, very small PSI pressure washer, I've blown decals right off the bike. And I mean, yeah, I mean, they say don't pressure wash these bikes. Again, I have to say I've pressure washed mountain bikes. I've pressure washed road bikes with my small pressure washer, and I've never had an issue like I've had with this bike. For me, the only real solution that I've come up with so far is some 3M tape. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more in another video. All right, so the next one is a big one. This is something that I dealt with early on with the bike and it drove me bananas, and that is the rally tower bending. This mostly had to do with the fact that I had upper crash bars on this bike. These bars were from Outback Motortech, and again, I don't believe this is a Motortech issue. The Garda system does have the option to purchase upper crash bars for the bike as well. I went ahead and opted out of those for the simple reason that I knew that if I picked them up, the tower would bend. And the reason for this is those upper bars connect right there on the bike, and that connection is to the rally tower. So if you lay your bike over hard, what that's gonna do is it's gonna push on that tower and it's gonna bend it one way or the other, which it has done for me both ways, which led to me taking off the upper crash bars. Now, the short and simple solution for this was to not have upper crash bars, but I have also laid the bike down so hard that it's just jarred the tower and bent it. It's just a little aluminum T that the tower attaches to. I do not find it very durable, and I also feel like once it's bent, it compromises the structural integrity of that aluminum, and I just feel like it will bend more and more now as time goes on. So again, the solution for this has been to just go with lower crash bars, not uppers, Do not mount anything to the tower. This allows it to kind of stand on its own, not take any hits, and hopefully stay straight throughout the entirety of a big, aggressive, gnarly trail ride. All right, so the fourth thing on the list kind of goes back to that cosmetic area, and that is the paint on the frames. Now, I get that this is something that everyone's probably going to deal with, but for me, it's been where the boots rub. I mean, I'm sure everybody's familiar with this. I want to talk to you about what I tried to do and what kind of didn't work, and I'm still looking for a solution. This is something that I'm asking you guys to recommend for me, and that is some sort of a frame guard. I went with the Rally Raid frame guards. They're like a stick-on, spray-on box liner kind of feel and look to them. Really, really strong adhesive on the back of these, so I really do appreciate that. And the one on the one side of the bike has really, really held up, but the other one, it got caught on something and it ripped, and now it's leading to that rubbing of paint off of my frame, which is a huge bummer. So if you have any other solutions for this to keep your frame from getting scratched and beat to hell, let me know. I'd love to make that upgrade for the bike. All right, so the last one on this list for me is more of a recent issue and just kind of a huge pain in the butt. It makes me think that when Honda designed this bike, they had more road in mind for this feature than they would ever have had for trail. And again, I want to know from you guys if you've had this issue, and that is the toolbox not being able to open on the bike. Not something that seems like a huge deal because, I mean, I don't know if you use your toolbox. I definitely did. I kept like my registration and my insurance in there, and I kept a couple little tools that I would have used often, but I found that I couldn't open the toolbox when I was out riding. At one point, I had a bolt come loose on my rear rack, and there was no way to access my tools because the lock was plugged up with dirt and mud, and the key wouldn't turn it. So I just had to hand tighten that bolt, and then by the time I got home, the bolt was gone, which is a huge pain in the ass because now I gotta go and replace that bolt. Not something that seems like a huge deal, but that was on my Rally Raid tower, which I ordered from the UK, which to purchase a new set of bolts for that is $45 Canadian, plus probably the same amount or more in shipping, and then tack on duties. Then you're going to end up probably paying roughly $100 for one replacement bolt, which is something that sucks. So if I would have just been able to access a 5mm Allen key, the issue wouldn't have been there, and I wouldn't have had to worry about it at all. So my solution at this point was just to remove the toolbox altogether. I'll be creating a little bit of a short, give you a little bit of a clip here showing how I did that. Pretty simple process. Talk more about it in the next video. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. This week I have the laryngitis, so I'm not gonna go ahead and listen to myself talk for 15 minutes. Just a short, quick hitter, 5 things for you to consider if you're gonna purchase this bike, or if you've just purchased this bike and you're wondering what might fail on it for you moving forward into the future. If you're enjoying these videos, please don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe. And I'll put 2 playlists up here in the corners for you to enjoy. One on all of my Honda 300L Rally videos, and one video up here on my moto camping videos that people have really been enjoying. Stay tuned for next week's video and more adventures. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you then.